Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. Not only is it my favorite time of the week, this is a sale we have been waiting for the entire year. Nintendo's official Black Friday sale is live now, and I'm not exaggerating, there is hundreds of amazing games on sale, so we have a great video to get into. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So before we get into this amazing Black Friday sale video, I need to give away some eShop gift cards. That's right, if you don't know, I give away eShop gift cards every single Saturday to my community. And yeah, here is this week's winner right here. But this eShop sale is pretty big, so I don't think one eShop sale gift card is gonna do it. I know what we need.
Another one.
That's right, here's another winner right here. If you would like to have that same opportunity, every week I like to give away eShop gift cards. And all you have to do is be a subscriber and be following me on Instagram. And whenever you follow me on Instagram, just let me know you came from YouTube, and you will have that same opportunity. It's just my way of giving back to my amazing viewers. And yeah, we have an amazing eShop sale to get into, so we should do that. Before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would truly mean the world to me. And let's just go ahead and get right into this one. The first game we're talking about today is technically multiple games, and I'm talking about the Portal Companion Collection, and this is $4.99. That's 75% off the full price, and that is the lowest price this has ever been. In this collection, you're getting Portal and Portal 2. These are arguably some of the greatest games of all time. I kind of feel like they're some of the most important games of all time. They both run perfectly on the Switch. I feel like these are games that everybody should own on the Switch, and now this is the perfect time to pick them up. The Messenger is also on sale, and this is $3.99, and that's 80% off the full price. As a demon army besieges his village, a young ninja ventures through a cursed world to deliver a scroll paramount to his clan's survival. What begins as a classic action platformer soon unravels into an expansive, time-traveling adventure full of thrills, surprises, and humor. This is another game that I feel like everybody should own on their Switch, and I can't believe a game this good is this cheap. Don't sleep on this one. Doom is also on sale. I think technically we call this one Doom 2016. But this is currently $7.99, and that's 80% off the full price. Not only is Doom on sale, Doom Eternal is also on sale. I think that one's like $10, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to talk about Doom. Before Doom made an appearance on the Switch, if somebody would have asked me if I thought these games were coming over to the Nintendo Switch, I would have told them they're crazy. It's impossible. It cannot work. And if it does come to the Switch, it's not going to work good. But it turns out I was wrong, and that's a good thing. The Bioshock Collection is also on sale right now, and this is currently $9.99, and that's 80% off the full price. In this collection, you're getting Bioshock 1, 2, and Bioshock Infinite, and all of these are the remastered version. They look and run amazing on the Switch. This is crazy. You're getting 3 amazing games, arguably some of the best games of all time, for only $10. So what is that, like $3.33 per game? I mean, can you really argue against that? I don't think you can. One of my favorite games of all time is on sale right now, and anytime it's on sale, I gotta talk about it, and I'm talking about Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. And this is currently $5.99, and that's 85% off the full price. I think I read somewhere that there's over 12,000 games on the Switch, but if we're talking about good games, I would say like a good 500, and I'm not even exaggerating. This is in my top 10, probably closer to my top 15 now, because it's been a while since I made that initial top 10 list. I've only played this on the Switch. It looks great, it runs great, it is fun from start to finish, and yeah, you get to blow up some Nazis, like, that's pretty cool, right? So another great game that's on sale right now is Golf Story, and this is currently $3.99, and that's 73% off the full price. If you don't know what Golf Story is and somebody told you, hey, there's a great game called Golf Story, you would assume, well, at least I would hope you would assume, that the game is about golf. And if that's what you assumed, then you're right. Congratulations. But it's way more than that. This is basically an RPG where golf is like the mechanic and the way you explore. You need to do golf challenges and you need to talk to people about golf. Once you start playing it, you realize it's way more than a golf game. And it's a damn good RPG. It really is, man. So I promise this is just random, the way I organize the games we're talking about today. But the next game we're talking about is Cursed to Golf. So another golf game. This is currently $3.99. That's 80% off the full price, and that is the lowest price this game has ever been. If you are a fan of my channel, you know that Curse to Golf is one of my favorite games of all time. I freaking love this game. I've talked about it a million times, and I'm talking about it again right now. This is more of your standard golf game. Well, kind of. You're sent to purgatory, you have to get through 18 levels or 18 holes. They get harder as you go, but you have all these cards and power-ups and abilities. But guess what? Say you lose on hole 17, it's all the way back to hole 1. But the levels are procedurally generated, so you never play the same level twice. This one really is a treat, man. So a game I never really see go on sale is Dark Souls Remastered. And it is currently $19.99, and that's 50% off the full price. Hell, there's probably some of you right now that didn't even know Dark Souls was on the Switch. And I'll be honest, for the longest time, I didn't know that either. Until I was making a video about... I can't even remember what the hell I was making a video about, but... yeah, I didn't know it was on the Switch until last year. But this has been on the Switch for a very long time. I think all the way since 2018. I actually haven't played this one myself, but I've talked to people and read online, and apparently this is a very good port of this game. So if you're looking for Dark Souls on the Switch, we do have it. And for 20 bucks, that's not a bad deal. Now let's talk about Persona 5 Strikers, and this is currently $17.99, and that's 70% off the full price. Persona 5 Strikers, or what's the other one? Persona 5 Tactica, maybe? I think Persona 5 Strikers was the very first Persona game we got on the Switch, period. Which was weird, because they could have had 3 and 4. We eventually got 5, and then 3 and 4 came later, but yeah, we got Strikers. I kind of want to compare it to like Hyrule Warriors, maybe, like you're really battling a bunch of enemies and follows the Persona 5 storyline, if I'm not mistaken. If Persona looks like something you want to get into, but it seems kind of like a big task at first, I would say start with Persona 5 Strikers, because if you enjoy this, there's a good chance you're going to enjoy the regular Persona games as well. Now let's talk about Subnautica, and this is currently $9.89, and that's 67% off the full price. I mean, where do we even start with Subnautica, man? Again, arguably one of the greatest games of all time. This is on the Switch. That's crazy. This feels like another game that shouldn't be on the Switch, and if it is on the Switch, it shouldn't work well, but it works great on the Switch. We also have Subnautica, what's the one that's all about snow? Maybe Below Zero or something? I think we have that one on the Switch as well. If you're going to get into Subnautica, start with this one. This is the Subnautica that everybody talks about. This is the one that's groundbreaking. This is the one that is a masterpiece in my opinion. And this is a perfect time to get into Subnautica because they just announced Subnautica 2 recently. Another one of my favorite games of all time is on sale right now, and I'm talking about South Park: The Stick of Truth. And this is currently $7.49, and that's 75% off the full price. South Park, you either love it or you hate it. I grew up with it. I love all the stupid jokes. I still watch it to this day. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. So I'm a little biased. I'm probably going to enjoy the games. Like, yes, this is a South Park game, but this is an amazing, and I'm using that word correctly, amazing RPG. Like, the battle mechanics are amazing. The way you level up your characters and get new items and get new clothes and explore, and it's freaking incredible. There's even a part of this game where you go up to Canada and it turns into like an old school 2D Dragon Quest game. There is another South Park game, The Fractured But Whole, but for some reason I really can't get into that one. I've tried like a million times. South Park: The Stick of Truth is amazing. Another cool game that I normally don't see go on sale is Have a Nice Death, and this is $12.49. That's 50% off the full price, and this is the lowest price this game has ever been. When this game was first being shown off, it kind of got a weird reaction, like strictly because of the art style. People were kind of comparing it to Hollow Knight, or thought that it was maybe a Hollow Knight clone, and I initially thought that when I first seen it briefly, but then as I watched the trailer and started learning about the game, it's nothing like Hollow Knight, like pretty much at all. In order to restore order, you'll have to grab your trusty scythe and show your employees who's boss. This is a great game, and it really flew under the radar, so this is the perfect time to pick it up in my opinion. So even more of my favorite games of all time right now are on sale. And now we're talking about Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD Remastered. If you know about Final Fantasy X, or if you've experienced these games, you know this is truly peak gaming. It does not get better than this. Like, in all of Final Fantasy, in my opinion, it's this, and now Final Fantasy VII Remakes. This was one of the first games I ever played. I want to say I was like 13 or 12, around there, that truly made me like get emotional as I played it. If you've ever wanted to play Final Fantasy games, this is where you should start. And this is awesome. You're getting 2 games for $20. That's like 150 hours of gameplay or something. Yeah, man. I'm just sitting here reminiscing on these games. We gotta go on now. So now I'm starting to sound like a broken record here. But another one of my favorite games of all time is on sale. And I'm talking about Nier Automata, the End of Yorha edition. People are telling me it's called Nier Automata. I don't care. I'm gonna say Automata. It sounds cooler. This is currently $19.99, and that's 50% off the full price. Once this came to the Switch, everybody was talking about how it was the impossible port, how it's one of the greatest ports of all time. And I was more curious about that than I was the actual Nier series or whatever. Once I started playing this game, not only did I fall in love with it pretty much immediately, they weren't lying. This is the closest thing we have to like a native PS4 game on the Switch. Whenever you're playing this on the Switch, and you're playing it maybe on PlayStation, it's going to be damn hard to find a difference, and I'm not exaggerating. This, in my opinion, is probably the best port we have on the Switch, period. It's a game you can play over and over again. You're probably going to find something new every time. Yeah, this is a special one, man. It really is. So now let's talk about Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the Game Complete Edition. And this is currently $4.89, and that's 67% off the full price. The Scott Pilgrim movie is classic. It's another thing I feel like if you didn't grow up with it, you might not get it now. You might not think it's good. I actually watched it pretty recently, and it still holds up in my opinion. I'm not the biggest fan of the beat-em-up genre. Not because I think it's bad, it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't really do anything for me. This game right here got me into the genre though, and it made me more open to experiencing more of these games. This game is $4.89, and it feels like it should be way more than that. Now don't get me wrong, this game is freaking hard. It's not a piece of cake at all. But once you start getting into it and you learn the mechanics, this is a must-play game. It really is. Now let's talk about Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD. And this is currently $5.99, and that's 80% off the full price. I mean, it's Monkey Ball. There's quite a few Monkey Ball games at this point. You could pick up any of them, and 99% of the game, you're going to be doing the same thing you did in all the previous Monkey Ball games. You're just a monkey in a ball who's going on these obstacle course. But that being said, I adore Monkey Ball. I freaking love it. And a fun fact I like to always say whenever I talk about Monkey Ball, it might not actually be a fact, but I still like saying it. The fact is, I believe Monkey Ball was the very first Sega game ever on a Nintendo console. Like, even before Sonic. And that was all the way back on the GameCube. And now, it seems like Sega and Nintendo are always working together. But it wasn't always that way. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 is also on sale right now, and this is currently $15.99, and that's 60% off the full price. I mean, do I really even have to explain this one? Tony Hawk is one of the greatest series of all time. It got me into skateboarding when I was a tiny little Mr. Robot Joe, so just a Robot Joe Jr., I guess, even though that would make me my own dad. Mr. Robot Joe would have to be my dad for me to be Robot Joe Jr. I don't know if that's going to work out here, but because of the Tony Hawk series, I have now been skateboarding my entire life. It's one of the only few sports I actually keep up with to this very day. I'm actually waiting to watch a big skateboarding contest tonight, now that I say that. In the later years, they kind of started missing the mark, like with Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5, and then there's another one I can't remember. That's how unforgettable they started to get. But 1, 2, 3, and 4, Underground 1 and 2, and American Wasteland, peak Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 remakes, or whatever the hell you want to call this, are some of the best remade games of all time. They look and run amazing. And yeah, I mean, it's Tony Hawk. You could legit play these games to the end of time. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot plus a new Power Awakened set is also on sale, and this is currently $14.99, and that's 75% off the full price. This game has been going on sale more and more, but I want to keep mentioning it because again, it's one of my favorite games I've ever played on the Switch. In this game, you're playing through the entire Dragon Ball Z anime, so it's a great way to get familiar with that. But not only does it have this amazing fighting aspect to it, it's actually a very solid RPG. So even if you feel like you might not like this, or you are on the fence about it, I'm here to tell you, pick this one up, you will not be disappointed. Sonic Superstars is also on sale, and it is only $17.99, and that's 70% off the full price. This game was fully priced at $60. If I'm not mistaken, I think this game came out the same exact month of Super Mario Wonder. And from my perspective, they're kind of the same thing. Like, you have classic Mario and classic Sonic. All you're doing is making them goofier, I guess. And that's pretty much what they did, so this kind of got overshadowed by Super Mario Wonder. I actually really like Sonic Superstars. The port didn't run the best when it first launched. There were some frame rate issues. I do believe it's got a few updates, but picking it up for only $18 at that price, I think everybody should experience this. And the last game we're talking about today is A Hat in Time, and this is currently $14.99, and that's 50% off the full price. If you enjoy 3D platformers, maybe like Super Mario Odyssey or classic Super Mario 64, or I can't really think of any other 3D platformers right now. My brain is kind of stuck, but A Hat in Time is a phenomenal 3D platformer. This is another game that from start to finish, you're going to enjoy it. I love all the mechanics in this game. I love the settings. I love the characters. I think the overall game is just very charming. I didn't know about this game when it first came out, so I was pretty late to experience it. I mean, it's very easy to see if you're going to enjoy this game or not. If you enjoy 3D platformers, 100% you're going to enjoy this. And if you don't enjoy 3D platformers, maybe like 70% you'll enjoy this. Still good odds, right? Ladies and gentlemen, this is an amazing Black Friday eShop sale. I think I picked 20 games right there. I easily could have picked another 50. So this sale will be going on for another week or two, so we'll go into another 20 next week. But for the time being, here was 20 amazing games on sale. As always, in the comments below, let me know your thoughts and opinions. And remember, if you would like to have the opportunity to win an eShop gift card every week, that's just something I do for my community. So all you have to do is be a subscriber and be following me on Instagram. And yeah, then you'll have that opportunity. And you guys know me, I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.